very popular because of pulp.
Yeah. Sank partially into the ground, so we're talking about 1 meter, 20 centimeters on the first evening, where the western part of the town just sank down because of a magma intrusion. And when you go to the town, it's kind of like a movie set at the moment, where you see buildings that have been ripped apart, houses that kind of shifted downwards in one direction. Then you have streets that used to be flat that are now hills, and it's really, really surreal to see that. See that in person, because it's this thing that we've always thought, or at least that I always thought when I grew up, is that the ground is this fixed thing that doesn't move, and it definitely does move. So it's kind of strange to see how this happened in a couple of hours' time.
And there are no longer any people living in Lindeberg. It's still an empty town right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. So nobody's living there. Nobody's allowed to stay there during the night. They are allowed to go there during the day. I do think that the fisheries, they are allowed to have people stay there overnight, but that's about it. Nobody else is allowed to stay.
Some of the video that you showed me with your drone showing cracks that are kilometers long in some cases, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's basically what happened, is that the town, as we found out now, there's a fault line going through it, and then on the western part of the town there's another fault line, and the magma that tried to reach the surface and didn't succeed so far came up in between those two fault lines, which then pushed the areas outside of the fault lines away, which then caused the land in between to sink. That's kind of what happened.
Do you anticipate that Grindavik will ever return back to normal, or are they going to have to wait?
I think at the moment they will probably have to wait, because the area that was inflating before this happened it has still been inflating, and today, as we are talking, it reached the same level. Of course, not the whole town is affected, so I suspect that some people will be able to return, but especially those people whose houses have been horribly damaged, where there is a crack running through it, they will likely have to be relocated, because at some point it's possible that this thing that happened now is going to happen again. So I think as much as people want to return home, I think it's something that they have to consider, that if this happens again, what are they going to do and where are people going to go? So maybe it's a thought to move people by 100, 200 meters to a new area in the town, for example. I'm just speculating here, but it's I don't think life will ever be the same as it was before. I think definitely some changes have to be made.
I promise not to hold you to this, but I am going to ask you, what do you think is going to happen in terms of an eruption? Because here we are on, I think, the 16th of December, 16th of December, recording this, in a wonderful little cafe, which you're about to tell me about, called the Laundromat Cafe. But here we are, 16th of December. Will there be an eruption? When will it be and where will it be? I promise I will not hold you to anything, because it's anybody's guess, really.
Yeah, it's definitely true that it's anybody's guess, but will there be an eruption? Yes, 100% yes. Will it be in the same place as the activity has been now? We don't really know, but it's very unlikely that we will not see an eruption in some shape or form in this area. This intrusion that has already, basically this magma intrusion, it's a kind of path of magma that's trying to reach the surface. This intrusion has already been formed, so if there is a new buildup of magma, which the inflation close to the Blue Lagoon seems to be signifying, if this magma releases again, the most likely scenario is that it will release into the same intrusion, which could be just about the push that it needs to finally reach the surface. If that doesn't happen, geologically speaking, it will be a short time until there will be another eruption on this peninsula. We've had 3 eruptions in 3 years. That's 3 eruptions out of 4 intrusions that form, it's very likely that this activity will just keep on going for the next 100 to 150 years. So yeah, we just don't know when it's going to happen. Basically, that's kind of the thing.
You've got a wonderful book out from the first 3 eruptions, and 2, or perhaps 2.
From the first eruption.
So it's just the first one, and we'll provide a link for that book on weatherjazz.com this episode when it is released. You also have an Instagram account, so people can follow you there, right?
Yeah, exactly. My Instagram is jvn.photo, so photo. Yeah, that's where I share all my photography and all my videos of the eruptions and much more from Iceland and Greenland.
Highly recommended, because I think that's where we met when I saw your photos starting to share on Instagram, and I will provide that link on weatherjazz.com. Again, this episode, look for that, and make sure that you follow Jeroene's photography, especially if there's another eruption, because you'll definitely have some things going on. Now, we're here at the Laundromat Cafe. It's called that in English here in Reykjavik, downtown Reykjavik. Why is it called the Laundromat Cafe?
It's actually a laundromat downstairs, so you can actually do your laundry while you're having brunch.
And it's a great breakfast. The menu here is really amazing. If I can find the menu online, I'll make sure to post it on weatherjazz.com so people can see it. If they come to Reykjavik on perhaps a tourism visit, they can come to the Laundromat Cafe for a great breakfast, lunch, or whatever.
Yeah, it's a great place. I love coming here.
Thank you so much for your time and for meeting us here today. It's certainly a busy pre-Christmas holiday weekend. You have some Christmas shopping to do. Your wife has some Christmas shopping to do. So I'm not going to hold you, but thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
8-minute.
So your new book is called what?
It's called New Earth.
New Earth.
Yep.
Okay, great. And that's available on various places. Is it on Amazon or no?
It's only on Amazon in Europe, but you can order it from my own website
Okay.
and some local resellers here in Iceland as well.
Okay. What is your website again?
It's called jvn.photo, just like my Instagram.
Okay, cool. Awesome.